Welcome to the Grappling Grappling Rewind Podcast.
Welcome to This Week on the Grappling Rewind Podcast. I'm your host, Maine, here with my other host,
Josh. Fat guy.
We'll get into that in a bit here.
Yep.
This week, we are going to cover Fight to Win Pro 69 in Cleveland, Ohio. We are going to talk about the D.C. Open, IBJJF Spring Open. That we attended yesterday. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into the craziness that is the rest of the next week in April, which is Quintet on April 11th, Fight to Win Pro 70, UMBC in Maryland, as well as SUG 7 on April 15th.
Go on.
As well as
KASAI
Pro 2 on April 15th.
As well as...
That's April 14th, actually, I think.
Yeah, as well as...
What else is there, Josh?
Did you say ACBJJ?
Oh, I forgot ACBJJ.
Oh, yeah, that's there too.
Yeah, that's all next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to break down IBJJF, talk about Fight to Win Pro 69, and then preview everything else. So strap yourself in. This is going to be a packed show of professional grappling previews and other information. So jumping right into it.
Let's talk about DC Open.
I was going to say news, but I was going to jump right into
Here's news. Always check to make sure your scale is right. So I'm totally open with who I am as a person, how I do competition-wise.
There's no news this week, so we're gonna move on to Josh news.
Josh news. I'm fat. So I signed up for medium heavy. Weight limit is 195 with the gi on. I'm on my scale. I'm on weight all week. I step on the scale at my house Saturday morning. I'm 195, which means I would weigh 198 pounds with my gi on. My gi is 3 pounds. Weight it. Okay. I'm going to go to the gym for a little bit.
So right now, that means you're 2 pounds over.
I'm 3 pounds over.
Math is not my strong suit, Josh.
Right. 3 pounds over.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll go to the gym. I'll work up a little sweat. You know, I'll have to go to the bathroom again. I'll more than likely be down 2 pounds at that point. And then I can just drive and relax and go there.
Because you don't weigh in until...
You don't weigh in until a couple minutes before you step on the mat.
In your brown belt in the adult division, so you don't weigh until later in the day anyway.
No, my division was... My first match was scheduled to start at 1:11, and it was actually, they were running ahead of schedule, so it started sooner.
Okay, so you had
So anyway, I knew I had some time. I left at like 10, but going back a little bit, I knew I would be able to get off at least 2 pounds. By the time I got there, I'd probably be only half a pound over. I'd just walk around with a sweatshirt on and be on weight. Go to the gym, sweat, come back. I'm 2 pounds heavier
than before he left for the gym.
So now I'm kind of sweating, and not in a I just worked out way, like what the hell's going on. So I have a kettlebell in my room, and I put it on the scale. It's a 15-pound kettlebell, and it weighed 11 pounds. I got on again. It told me the weight. I was still heavier, and I was like, oh, I think my scale, the battery might be dead, or it might be broken. Well, not dead because it was functional, but dying.
Yeah, you're a low... When you lose power on certain scales, right at the end of it, before the scale itself dies, it'll change the readout because the load cells it's not reading the correct amount because there's not enough power in the cell.
Right. So now I'm thinking maybe it's just messed up. I'll go there. Kind of freaking out on the way, turned on something to listen to, drove up there, about 55-minute drive. No big deal. Get on the scale in the gi, 198.9. And the brackets are moving quick. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm moving around. I'm just trying to keep a positive outlook on it.
Josh is freaking out.
I tried to keep a positive outlook on it.
Josh is a pretty stoic guy most of the time. He gets happy, but he's never nervous. And Josh's face looks like... It's making me uncomfortable because he's just like talking, yeah, it's fine, we're good, doing this, and he's walking through, and I can tell he's rationalizing it himself that he might not make this weight.
Yeah, and this entire week, it's not like I went crazy off my diet or anything like that, and I was comfortably eating because, according to my scale, I was right. This isn't an excuse to say I didn't make weight. I didn't make weight, that's my fault. And other people tried to rationalize it to me like,
Me.
no, the scale's broken. It's not your fault. I have access to about 8 million scales. There's one in our gym. There's one in another gym.
There's 2 in my house.
There's at least 75 at your house, dude. There's a lot.
I think I have 3. I know I have 1 working, 1 extra, and I might have a travel scale as well.
That's a lot of scales still.
I used to be a business travel. I had to bring a scale with me. I had to compete next week.
Anyway, so I was over, but I didn't say, well, I'm just not going to show up. I'll step on the scale and I'll own up to being over the limit. I got on. I was 198. And they were like, sorry. And I was like, I understand. It's not your fault. Whatever. And I got DQ'd because of it. I was looking forward to competing, but again, my fault. I'll be back on the grind again, but shit happens. Probably should have went into it a little bit deeper, but whatever.
So that's Josh's IBJJF experience this weekend. Not a great one because you missed weight for gi and for no gi.
Well, I didn't even show up today because I knew I figured that I would be on weight, maybe a little bit under. And by the time I competed, and I wasn't going to go crazy with my food or anything, by the time I was done with that day with doing my division, and because of where I was seated, I would have taken third even if I had lost.
So that absolute anyway.
I would have done the absolute. And by the time I expended all that energy, probably would have been, without my gi on, about 190 pounds. So because of water weight, I would have sipped on something, but probably would have woke up at about 190 pounds and only had to cut 3. So it wouldn't have been a big deal. I'm used to doing that kind of stuff. But being that I was heavier than I expected to be and I didn't compete.
You're cutting 6 or more day of.
Probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, so that's kind of good luck cutting that because you don't.
I just wasn't going to kill myself for it. I enjoy competing, but I wasn't going to injure myself or anything like that. I wasn't going to make myself sick and not be able to work. And as much as I love jiu-jitsu, it's not my job. It's an extracurricular activity for me.
I mean, it's a little beyond that at this point.
But still, it doesn't pay my bills.
Yeah.
Until when it pays my bills, then that's going to be something where I'll be I just got to, focus on these things and make sure.
You got to pull a Herbert?
No, I would never pull a Herbert. I'm sorry. I'll keep going. You'll choke me unconscious. You'll break my shit. I'm not going to tap to getting caught in a tripod, in a TP position.
The mount, Josh? Not going to tap him out?
Yeah.
Like Art Zimmerman?
Sorry. I'm not going to do that. But I needed to make sure that I was going to be able to work. But let's get into it. I got to watch this match, the Eduardo Barboza match versus Christian Woodmansey. Eduardo Barboza came over top. I can't talk today.
It's been a rough week, Josh.
Eduardo won. Christian Woodmansey did not. It was only a 2-guy division in the roosterweight division. So first and second. I did notice that. I didn't know that Christian Woodmansey had a tattoo on his head.
Yeah, that's all that was interesting.
I was like, what the hell is on his head? Oh,
it's a large tattoo, too.
No, it's just the writing across the top of his head.
The crown. It's on the top of the...
It's right above
the hairline. But it's intersecting with the hairline.
Yeah.
And it was a larger tattoo than I expected because most of his hair kind of covers the center of it, but you can still definitely see the tattoo and the rest. I was like, damn, that is a smaller black belt than I'm used to seeing, and B, that is a face tattoo.
Yeah.
Which are uncommon.
Maybe in your circles.
In my circles, Josh.
Not around people I know.
Ah, yes. So on to the Rooster division. Again, a division with 2 people. We had...
Those were the results. If we move on to light feather...
The next division, Josh.
There you go. There were multiple people in that. Darson Hemmings took first. Jean Pedro Olivier Rodriguez from Soul Fighters, Texas, took second. Brian Clauser from Vicente Jr. team, which is in Maryland.
Which is Conquest.
Yep. Took third, and Tadashi Takashima from Boston BJJ also took third. I caught a little bit of Darson Hemmings matches while I was, walking around, hopefully magically losing 3.5 pounds. He looked really good. His bolo game was on point. He just went to work. So good on him.
moving on to the featherweight division. This was a fun one. I got to see some of Shane Jamil Hill-Taylor's matches. We're going to see him on Fight to Win. And this whole thing was cool to see, the IBJJF Open, because I saw a bunch of guys from purple belt all the way to black belt at this event that we're going to see next week on Fight to Win Pro. So I assume most everyone is playing the same games that they're going to be playing next week against whoever they're competing against. But it was cool to see Shane and a bunch of other guys. And we saw Tim Spriggs there. We saw a bunch of guys from the GF team and all the other teams that I probably saw at least half to a quarter of the people that we're going to see next week on Fight to Win Pro at the D.C. Open.
Right. John Delbrudge, who I competed against last time, was in my division too, that I didn't compete in. He took second in that. He'll be on there next week. So that, again, we saw a good chunk of the competitors from the Fight to Win Maryland card at DC Open competing, getting more ready for Fight to Win, and, just staying on their competition grind. Isaac Doderlin took second. So
Shane Jamil Hill-Taylor takes first. Doderlin takes second.
Frederico Augusto Alves Silva takes third, as well as Scott Dance from BJJ Revolution team.
I forgot actually who Shane was competing against, I think in his first round in black belt for this division. But goddamn, he's good.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. We know that. We've seen him against Grippo and against the top guys. I watched him throw a triangle so fucking fast.
Yeah, that was a great match.
Holy shit. I didn't know who it was against. I missed who it was against. I
was trying to watch 3 matches at once while that was happening.
Yeah, they were running all the black belts at the same time.
And then the brown belt light feather division was going, because that was the one with Cobrinha's son. He won, by the way.
Shocker there, Josh.
I was watching a match on that mat, as well as one of Darson Hemming's matches. So it was scanning back and forth. And when you don't have a video stream right in front of you, and you're like, okay, I can focus on this specific thing, man, all that information coming at you at once really kind of scrambles your mind.
I was fixated on the Taylor match, and it was watching what he was doing and how he was posturing and using his head, and then he was going, locks this triangle up. I was like, damn, that is...
Yeah, he shot that really quick.
He shoots that so quickly, and I'm trying to think about things you see that the highest level guys do that you don't see for other black belts and they're good black belts. And one of the biggest things I think you see is the speed in which they go from one position to another position. They don't have that setup phase. He's in the butterfly and in the
He was in a half butterfly, and then he was all right, and pulled his leg out and shot up a triangle
out of nowhere. And there was no middle, there was no change, there was no adjustment.
There was no pushing. He just threw his legs up,
and he was there. So I will be, again, I love watching Shane Jamil Hill-Taylor compete. I saw all the Lloyd guys there. I saw Lloyd there. Lloyd was there walking around.
He almost ran me over. Not on purpose, but he was walking and I was intersecting. He was like, and I was like, oh shit.
Dude, he is way skinnier than I remember. Not related to anything, but I just thought that.
Okay.
I always have him as a 260-pound guy.
He's not that big.
In my head,
he was ever that big.
That's how big he is. So on to the lightweight division for DC Open.
Gianni Grippo and Johnny Tama close it out, taking first and second respectively. Cesar Cardoso takes third. That was a round robin, so they probably just, again, that was one that I didn't get to check out. I ended up leaving a little early just because I was frustrated with myself, but I was like, So Maine got to see a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
that happened later. I caught a lot of the earlier stuff. Going to the middleweight division, the black belts, Chad Hardy from Nashville MMA takes first. Thomas Keenan from Soul Fighters takes second. Greg Walker and Marcos Tinoco, who we just recently saw him Fight to Win, split third.
Marcos Tinoco won his Fight to Win match, I think, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. He was the main event.
Yes, he was.
Yep. So medium heavyweight, we have Diego
Bispo is how he goes by. He took first, and Izbek Mustakov. There we go. Izbek Mustakov. There we go. He took second, 2-man division. Some of these divisions were a little small. Some of them were,
it's a local open.
Stretched out. But it was cool to see.
Guys getting those team points. Guess who we didn't see, Josh?
Who didn't we see? Gordon Ryan.
Gordon Ryan. Even though initially he was listed on the results for his division.
Yeah,
and then they updated results, and he was not listed. But Josh went, did you see him? Did you see him there? Because Josh left a little early, and I went, no, I didn't see him there at all. Because I saw Spriggs rocking around. I saw, I don't think I saw Ali, actually. I knew he was there. I didn't see him, though. Okay.
You weren't looking hard enough.
Josh, there was a lot of guys who was like, that's this person. That's this person. I was trying to talk to people on Fight to Win next week, like asking them about, like, stuff.
Right. So on to the heavyweight division. Tex Johnson, Aaron Johnson from Unity BJJ takes that division. Roberto Torobos takes second, and Gilvin Gomez da Costa takes third. I saw Tex probably for about 30 seconds compete, and I didn't, he was on top, and I was like, oh, there he goes.
That's surprising.
Not really.
That's a joke, Josh. I'm sarcastic there.
Super heavy. Two-man division, Tim Spriggs beats Eduardo Silva to take first in that. And Muhammad Ali defeated Grafton Skaggs III to win the ultra heavyweight division.
Under the open class, Muhammad Ali takes that one as well. Actually, did he close out with Spriggs?
I believe they closed out.
Close out.
And then, let's see. Alexandre Molinaro and Isaac Doderlin took third. Always awesome to see the smaller guys jump into the absolutes. I don't know how big that was, but I know that Tim Spriggs and Muhammad Ali split it. You want to know how many female black belt divisions there were?
How many, Josh?
2.
Dos?
2. The super heavyweight division and the open weight.
You mean the same person competed in 2 divisions, Josh?
You mean they stepped on the scale and weighed what they needed to weigh and won?
You should, honestly, we're kind of being not bullshitty, but you show up and you show up to compete, and if there's just happens to be no one in your division, there are no other black belts there that make weight that are of your same
or
sex.
There's no one there, it just sucks.
Yeah. So
Claudia Doval from De La Hiva won the super heavyweight and the open because she was the only black belt female that was there. That sucks.
There were at the lower belts. There were a lot of females there. It was great. Rachel's division had a bunch of matches. She took bronze in her division.
Yeah.
A number of other women there. They have a Masters women's division.
They've had that. They added it, but
no other tournament has a we've Masters females at our gym that competed, and there's no other tournament that gives them the opportunity to compete against other Masters women. So it was great to see. It's great to see IBJJF has the division, at least, for them to not be competing against people that are like Rachel's age or like 19.
Yeah.
So I was really pleased about that. And there's actually people in those divisions. So I like that I'm seeing more and more women in the sport, because when I started, it was 95% men. You'd have a woman in the class in the gym. And now, you have a couple. You have gyms that have women's only classes. So we're seeing female black belts, which is great. It's just still a little sparse for local events.
Quick shout out to our training partner, Jeff. He double golded in his brown belt masters division and the open class. So good on him. He's always training hard. Great training partner to have.
Dude, I love watching matches between you and him in the gym.
Oh, that's one of my favorite training partners. Like, hands down.
Dude, I got to sit. I think it was last week. You guys were both training for DC, and I was not. I had just done a bunch of rounds, and I was dying. And I was sitting on the side of the mat, and I got to watch you guys just go for a full hard round. And I was like, "This is I would watch this match on Fight to Win or something."
I mean, that's every single match we have.
Yeah, but I usually am training at the same time, so to be tired and just watching the match was this is a good match.
Maybe build up your cardio and stop being a baby.
I got there before you, Josh, and I'd already trained.
Yeah, well, I had already done stuff before that and trained more rounds than you.
This one-upmanship has sounded great on the mic.
I know, but I'm just saying, I kept going, and you were like, I'm going to go take a nap in the corner.
I mean, that happens. So that'll do it for our coverage of DC Open. It was fun to watch. It was good. It was less organized than I thought it was going to be.
Less organized? What do you mean?
Unless you know how IBJJF runs and you're very familiar with their setup, because Rachel and I did pans, and that's the only time Rachel's competed for IBJJF. Pans, we had to check in again. Then we had to go.
No-gi pans, you mean?
No-gi pans in New York. This one, you didn't have a secondary check-in. You just, when your name was on the board, then you went and checked in and weighed in and were in the bullpen. And unless you know how their procedures work, there's nothing written or shown. You just have to kind of figure that out.
Well, you get called, and then they start announcing like your division, which they always do. But
their PA system was garbage this time.
Yeah, they do. It was worse than the first time that they were there.
They sounded like us doing names.
They also, I didn't even hear my division called.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. This one was, for how much IBJ, everyone's like, oh, they run great. This didn't run that great.
It ran ahead of schedule.
Which is great, but if you schedule everything out and you give adequate time and you actually bracket things out ahead of time, it'll do that. But I'm saying as far as like getting your competitors to know when they're going to go, it's like any other tournament.
They gave you a time, but I'm glad I didn't show up. I didn't leave when I originally planned to leave because I would have just been a no-show because by the time I would have gotten there, I would have gotten DQ'd for not showing up.
Right.
Not for being overweight. So, I mean, they were just running very quickly. This one was a little less attended, I think, than the previous one.
I was not here for the previous one. I was in Maine. Yeah, I was on vacation.
The other one was packed to the gills.
There's also no warm-up area, which I think is always
What do you mean?
weird. There's no mats to warm up on.
Most of them don't
which
have
I think is weird. It's like you're a major event. You're like, oh, a huge like open event, and there's no warm-up area for your athletes.
There's areas to jog. There's areas to stretch out.
Yes, there's extra areas in.
Were you worried about like rolling? Some the other ones give you like half of a mat, and normally there's
UAE?
like 800 kids. There's 800 kids doing cartwheels on them. Did you just throw out UAE?
UAE has a warm-up area for every single division.
Did you just throw out UAE?
I just threw out UAE.
So you're telling me a tournament backed by multi-billionaires.
Yes, Josh.
You're comparing that to a company that's just really trying to steal all your money and spend as little as possible.
Yes. Yes, because IBJJF
Think about
is trying
that
to
for a
be the
second.
de facto organization for jiu-jitsu, and you're getting beat by multi-billionaires. Step your game up, IBJJF. That's all I got on that.
Hey, get yourself a billionaire backer and get all those warm-up mats.
So that'll do it for billionaire backers. On to Fight to Win Pro 69 in Cleveland, Ohio. This event paid out a total of $22,085 in salaries and commissions and was headlined by Vitor Oliveira versus Keith Minor. So we're going to start off with the teen results. We have Alyssa Priero defeating Hope Jones via decision. That was fight of the night for the kiddos. And we have Tyler Story defeating Zane Finley via armbar. That was submission of the night for the kiddos. On to the purple belt results.
Pedro Zapata Jr. defeated Jeremiah Roberts by armbar. Edward Bean defeated Ricardo Casanova by armbar. Christopher Manuel Harden defeated Jacob Props by decision. Ben Williford defeated Michael Kazamark by Darce. Ricardo Meja defeated Andrew Pardee by armbar. Gary Hensley defeated Anthony Santiago by decision. Jeffrey James Offek defeated Ryan Croyle by decision. Cody Stevens defeated Sean Rawl by guillotine. Tim Plazik defeated Sam Lemon by decision. Emil Fisher defeated Adam Sadney by...
Adam Sadney
by knee bar. Oh, yeah, his knee is sad. How about
Jesus.
that? What a terrible... He did have a sad knee.
So, by the way, just for everyone knows, every time Josh laughs like that directly into the mic, I have to edit that. So, just so you guys know that literally every single time on this show that Mr. Weinstock laughs into the microphone, I have to manually go in and bring the levels down on the show. Just keep that in mind. On to the next match.
Person. That was submission of the night for the purple belts. Crystal Vanessa Demopoulos defeated Melanie Yasinkeya by armbar. I tried. Ken Robson defeated Wyatt Rouston by decision, fight of the night. Michael Hasek defeated John Plazik by split decision.
Was he in there twice?
Who?
That we had another Plazik earlier, didn't we?
Man, I hate you.
Mm-hmm. I know, Josh.
I hate you.
I know you do.
Yeah, Tim Plazik.
Okay. I assume they're related. Plazik's not a very common...
Brother, maybe.
Not a common last name.
I don't know. Jessica I defeated Tamara Leonard by heel hook. Every time I see Leonard, I always go to Leonard.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm like, Leonard, because, that's a name. Leonard. Shawn McMichaels defeated Rob Reiser by inside heel hook. And Gabriella McAuliffe.
I think it's McAuliffe.
Whatever.
Defeated Darian Premu
by armbar.
And then on to the brown belt results. We have Chico Bays defeating Keith Semeta via decision. We have Mike Hulan defeating Dingo. Man, you got to do these names.
Mike Hiluhan defeated Dinos Angelas by decision. Brad Baines defeated Michael Spadafora by split decision.
That was fight of the night for the brown belts.
Mark Farrell defeated Carlo Claridad by decision.
Chris Oden defeats Jacob Moro via Kimura. That was submission of the night for the brown belts. And Joe Sanfilippo defeats Mike Martin via heel hook. On to the black belt results.
Tom Kozlowski defeated BJ Nelson by decision, fight of the night. Tom Scala defeated Ruben Vera by decision. Dante Leone defeated Cameron Knight by bow and arrow, submission of the night.
For the black. This is a fun one. We're going to talk about this one in a minute.
Robert Henriksen defeated Seth Daniels by split decision.
Again, another fun one.
Mike Manchak defeated John Correa by decision. Darren Branch defeated Rob Heilman by decision. And Vitor Oliveira defeated Keith Miner by decision.
The reason why Josh paused funny there is because it's listed Oliveira Vitor. So on to our breakdown section for Fight to Win Pro 69. Talking about Dante Leone versus Cameron Knight, finishing a bow and arrow choke and being a submission of the night for the black belts.
Now, Dante's one of those guys that's getting a lot of hype behind him from Flow. You know, they had articles on him when he was a brown belt. Now he's a newer black belt. I mean, rightly so, he's getting hype. He's a strong competitor.
And he showed it in this match. This was a match that you saw Dante Leone just work another black belt. The speed in which he transitioned, the way in which he transitioned, the way he's passing. And Cameron threw up some good submissions, threw up a knee bar attempt at one point. But Dante was a step ahead the entire match. And if you get a chance to go back, rewatch this match, look at the transition that Dante does to get the bow and arrow.
Hold on just a second. Hold on. This is the part where we normally say if the matches were up. But guess what? The matches are actually up.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
You can watch them right now. And I mean, it's Tuesday, and normally at that point they're still not up. But that's when the episode actually comes out. Sunday, the matches are out Sunday.
So that's awesome.
Maybe they wanted to get them out ahead of WrestleMania so that everybody could watch WrestleMania.
Maybe. So go back and watch this match for two things. Go back and watch it for Dante's head positioning throughout the match and the way he uses his head position to pass. Like, he uses his head as a third prop in order to keep Cameron in the places he wants him to and pass using his head position.
You mean he's tripoding?
Kind of, sometimes, but a lot of times he's super low with it.
Damian Maya?
A little bit, but not all the time. And so that's something you see that really, really high-level guys will do, is they use their head as a prop and like a third arm to keep people's hips in place. And that's what Dante's doing in this match. And this is why I kind of found this match so interesting was, A, he's sort of just a step ahead. And although Cameron's throwing up knee bars and other items at the match, Dante's transitions are outstanding. Dante jumps off the back, off the knee bar attempt, and just goes to the bow and arrow super fast from the back mount. And just gets it. It was beautiful to watch. The camera was centered right in the... Basically, you're looking at him finishing the bow and arrow towards the camera. So you can look at his hand position, his foot position, how he's turning up and angling the elbow to finish the bow and arrow. It was a pleasure to watch. It was great to
Maybe
watch
he's
him.
A pro wrestling fan and knows to work towards the camera so he could be picked up.
Man, you're hitting this WrestleMania thing hard, aren't you?
I'm going to. It's going to bother the shit out of you. It's going to be great.
It already is.
It's going to be great. How about that Ronda Rousey?
I don't watch it, man. I'm principled. So that was that match. Go back and rewatch that match. It's fun. I think we're going to see big things from Dante Leone moving forward. Another match that happened makes it sound bad.
I mean, this happened.
Seth Daniels, again, hopped in as a late replacement for Ron Hendrickson. Against Ron Hendrickson. They announced Seth as 5-3 in Fight to Win.
No way he's 5-3.
Have we seen every single one of his matches in the last 6 months?
I've seen at least 6 7 of his matches, and most of them have been
in the last like 6 months.
I mean, in the past like 2 or 3 months, he's competed 4 times.
Right, and that's why I go, was he not competing before the last couple months? Have we missed that?
Maybe he's 5-3 at black belt. No, I've only seen him lose once at black belt.
Correct.
Since getting that.
He got Darst.
Yeah.
So maybe he wasn't competing on his own event until really recently.
He was, because he was on the first Fight to Win card that I was on. He was on the Maryland card.
Yeah.
And he's been on a bunch of these cards since then.
He's been on every like other card or every card.
He was on the Louisiana card.
He hops in as a replacement.
He was on the Texas card.
Yeah, both those.
He was on this card.
Yes.
That's 5 matches right there. So we're missing 3 somewhere in between. Well, he stepped in as a late replacement against that one black belt when he was still a brown belt.
That was before Maryland, I think.
Right. Yeah. So that's 6. We're missing 2.
And that's why, because I
thought he competed more.
That's in the last 20 events or so. So was he just not competing on his own event? But
maybe
you said he was on your event, or maybe his record.
Was.
But his record was odd. I feel like he has been on his own event more than 8 times, regardless of Seth's record. Look good, fun to watch. He throws that fucking foot sweep hard as shit.
You're good at judo. Why would you not?
I'm not saying that. You're just watching him throw. I would not want to get foot swept by Seth, because the way he foot sweeps, he hits you right where you want to hit, right above he cups his foot and he hits the ankle, the outside of the ankle, super hard. And the kazushi, the off balancing with the hands, he'll grab the gi like collar or collar sleeve and turn you and throw his foot through. But he does it almost like a tie kick.
So the only thing I can really compare that to and use in my experience is Nakapan from Beta Academy in D.C.
Yep.
I got to compete against him in no-gi, and, slap bump, we get ready to go. He comes up, and I swear to God, he leg kicked me. That's how hard he, threw this foot sweep, and I was like, what the fuck was that? I mean, it made an audible thud against my leg.
Yeah, Seth did this one, too.
So, sometimes you got to put that force into it.
It is funny, though, because when you see that foot sweep done at a really, really high level in judo for IJF and stuff, you'll see them, I think not the Seth's timing is bad, but you'll see them time it really well when the guy steps up so they can swing and swipe the foot through, as I bang into the microphone there. Seth doesn't do that. Seth will hit you with that when your foot's planted. But the second
it's jiu-jitsu,
time,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
most people's think about it, most people's takedown are garbage.
To say the least, yeah.
From the feet, wrestling or judo-wise, it's garbage.
But the funny thing about it is, once Seth hits you with that once when you're planted, you are much more willing to kind of try to outstep it, and it'll give him the foot sweep in the future.
Yes.
So I think that's a really funny thing that you see in judo, and you see guys that have their feet taped up, but Seth throws this first foot sweep and just kicks him in his leg. This is also a match that you saw Seth slam in. Watch how Seth slams in this match. Robert has him in the closed guard. Seth lifts him up, and then he angles over the top and slams on the neck and on the head and the back of the neck and the shoulder. It doesn't really hit the shoulders for Robert. He drives him down too. I'm saying a ton. I'm noticing that.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this slam. This is how you slam people from the closed guard.
Maine is slowly becoming more and more obsessed with slamming people.
Yo, I was at IBJJF yesterday, and guys would jump the guard. I was like, oh, he's going to slam him. And then I went, oh, they're not in fight to win. Oh, slamming's not a normal thing in jiu-jitsu. That's not a thing you can do. I watch so much fight to win now. Every time I see someone on the guard, I'm like, oh, he's going to slam. This is awesome. And then I realized that you can't slam in 95% of events.
99% of events?
ADCC, you can slam.
Okay, that's a completely no-gi event that happens once every 2 years.
Josh, 5%. We are the 5%.
Whatever.
Hashtag bring back slams 2018. The Gracie way.
I'd be okay with it. I really wanted to lift Del Brudge way higher than I did and go full on Arona and fucking powerbomb him. Because of course you're going to drive your head into that too.
Yeah.
But
but watch this slam. This is how you slam from the closed guard. He gets up, he drops his legs back. The technique on this slam was one of the best guard slams I've seen in jiu-jitsu in a long time. It was great. It was beautiful.
Would you say it was almost a masterclass in guard slamming?
Yeah, he only does it once, but It was beautiful, Josh. It brought me joy to watch Seth Daniels lift and slam.
I'm telling you, one of these days we're going to release like our back and forth conversations that we have via Messenger. And anytime like slams are brought up or anything like that, he's like, yo, I just want to slam people. He Dude, really gets excited about it.
I want to win. I want to get on Fight to Win, and I want to knock a dude out from the back mount with the slam. Ever since I saw Max Holloway was cornering guys at Shogun like a year or 2 years ago. A bunch of guys from Hawaii came onto Shogun, which is the local MMA promotion, and two of his guys at points in their fights got the back mount and started slamming into the canvas from the back mount. And I went, oh, you can do that.
It's like
why don't we see that more
people's
often?
Minds were blown when GSP was doing that from the guard and was driving his shoulder down into the face.
The shoulder strikes.
Yeah.
I want to see slams. Bring back slams. I'm just saying. So Robert gets the decision on this. It's a fun match to watch. I think it's the first time I've seen Seth go to a decision. He may have before, but it's the first time that I've personally seen it.
Possibly, but he normally goes for broke, and he either gets submitted or
he was going
submits.
for broke. And at the last 30 seconds, they were hustling. Seth was throwing up submissions.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah, again, Seth knows how to put on a show for his own event, and you could tell that he was abandoning some positional stuff, just going for the sub, just going for the show, and like putting on a fun match. So that was that. That was that match. Go back and watch that. A lot of fun. On to the main event, which is Keith Minor versus Vitor Oliveira. We've seen Keith before. Every time I see him, I feel the need to bring up that he has one arm, or he has a partially amputated arm, and it looks like it's amputated probably two inches above the wrist. He has the majority of his forearm, but he's missing a wrist and he's missing a hand on that arm.
Could have not just developed.
Could be a congenital item as well. I've not looked into him.
Too deep into it.
Like he's not. I think Nick Newell has a
congenital amputation.
Yes, that's the way to put it. And I'm not sure what the nature of
Keith
Minor's. Yeah, Nick Newell is further up. Keith is right at the wrist basically, and is a leg locker. And Vitor did not let him get to the legs at all. And every time they went into the guard, Keith would invert and try to snatch a leg aggressively, and Vitor would try to like lift his leg and pull out and pull out and pull out. We would not let Keith get a hold of his legs.
Vitor Oliveira is like one of those, I wouldn't even say journeyman, but you will see him at all of these competitions, and he just hustle, and beats the shit out of dudes. So the fact that Minor wasn't just like completely destroyed.
No, because every time Vitor would pass, like Keith would just go, okay, cool, and just shoot for the legs and invert and turn over. And Minor never got super comfortable with it because he was so worried about Keith on the legs. And the commentary staff, which was great this event, kept talking about how good it was, how good Minor's leg lock game was. So they go to decision. Vitor Oliveira decisions Keith Minor. He just did more. He just had more throughout the match. But again, it was another fun match to watch.
And again, all the matches are up. You can watch them all. You can catch the Jessica I match. You can catch any of the brown belt matches.
That was an interesting match too.
Yeah. You can catch all of the black belt matches. Go back, Flow Grappling. They're already up. Check them out.
So that'll do it for our breakdown section of the podcast. On to the previews, and there are a lot of them.
A metric fuck ton.
Yeah, to say the least. So we're going to start off with Quintet, which is Sakuraba and Josh Barnett's organization.
That's Wednesday.
I think they co-own it, right?
Whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's on Fight Pass now. This event's going to be on Fight Pass.
Say hi.
Yeah, it's not on Abema TV. I think it's on both.
It'll be on Abema, but
it's on Fight Pass. Out of nowhere.
For real?
For real, Josh.
I am excited. I am even more excited that I don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch this.
Yeah, I can catch the replay, Josh.
Yay!
It'll be great.
Yay! That shit starts at 5:30 in the morning, and guess who's off on Wednesday? Me.
You're off that day, Josh?
I am off, and I am watching it. I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna have to wake up at I normally try to go to the gym at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna wake
Josh,
up.
Josh, your gym have Wi-Fi?
Terrible Wi-Fi.
You can watch that in Lyft.
Terrible Wi-Fi.
Use that data, Josh. You stay on the Wi-Fi.
Terrible Wi-Fi. You can't stream shit. You can barely get on Facebook with that.
Dude, my gym's Wi-Fi is so bad that I can't like watch YouTube videos while I work out.
Mine's just as bad. The one space that does have like the perfect Wi-Fi to where you could do something is right by this fireplace that it has right outside of the swimming area. Yeah, your gym's got a fireplace.
Gym has a fireplace?
Yeah, it's got a little like fire circle pit kind of area. It's a fucking YMCA. Like they always add weird shit in there.
What? A fireplace?
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it.
That's
it's amusing.
Weird as shit.
It's amusing. There's a bunch of like little benches around it, and they're like, "Oh, feel welcome and at home with this fireplace."
So this event kicks off at 5:30 in the morning on Wednesday because Japan doesn't give a single shit about anything.
You know, it's not for us. It's for them, and they just happen to have it on. Yeah. They're like, we don't give a shit about anybody else. This is for this. This is going to be exciting. Eventually, people are going to watch it. I'm so glad the UFC decided to go, you know what, let's put this on. Probably more so because...
it wasn't on until like really recently.
No.
And it was announced like this week that it was on Fight Pass. So I don't know if they just got that organization. They just got that or...
Barnett probably had something to do with that.
I would assume. So we talked about the teams last week. It's got the Sambo Dream Team, which is a bunch of Russian and Eastern European guys that...
I like that they're like sponsored by certain things. The Hakobi Sports Sambo Dream Team.
Yep. And the Polaris Dream Team.
Sponsored by Polaris.
And obviously, it's a bunch of guys that have competed on Polaris before. We have the Judo Dream Team.
Which is E&W Judo Dream Team.
And we have the Haleo Dream Team, which
is sponsored by Haleo.
What's Haleo?
That's a clothing company.
Oh.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for like 2 months, and I didn't know that till literally
They make like
3
BJJ
days.
stuff. And
Really?
Yeah.
I assume it's a Japanese brand?
I think so. I can't remember, but I mean, look at other stuff. Do you remember?
I want one of those rash guards, though.
They are pretty sweet, but think about like Shinya Aoki's Super Grappling Pants of Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Those are all Under Armour.
Right.
But can you find those here?
No.
That's
a good
point. So it's like Under Armour Japan. They have cool shit over there.
There's a really cool video that came out this week, which is the commentator, and I'm blanking on his name, the English commentator for Quintet, talking about the rules and what's banned. It's about a 7.5 minute video. You can find it on YouTube, on the Quintet YouTube page. And it's just like a video of his face, and he's talking about rules and how they set up and how the overtimes work and how the point scoring works and how the penalties work. It's cool. You should watch that. You should watch this event. If you don't have Fight Pass, get it. And they got a free trial.
Sign up for that free trial. Sign up.
7-day free trial.
Use a random fake credit card or some bullshit like that.
Dude, I have Fight Pass. I watch Fight Pass all the time.
I'm just saying, if you don't, like, sign up for that free trial. Use your PayPal. Oh, you can't PayPal. Can you use PayPal with that?
You can use PayPal for everything nowadays.
I'm not 100% sure if it'll let you.
Huh. Regardless, we have no idea who's going to match up with who, so we're not going to speculate. All those teams are out. There is going to be a bunch of fun matches because we're going to see... This was like the Wild Wild West. I have no idea how this event's going to play out because I don't think they know how this event's going to play out.
I'm just very interested to see who from the Haleo team is going to go out first. Are they going to go out light, or are they going to throw Barnett at everybody?
I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to keep Barnett and Sakuraba. Yeah, I have no idea.
They should throw Sakuraba's the throwaway on that team.
He's old.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's the throwaway on that team. Like, that's the match we can lose. We know that.
Right, so they sent him out
you've
first.
Got Hideo Tokoro and Marco Souza and Josh Barnett and Daisuke Nakamura, who's almost as old as Sakuraba, but he's just not as beaten up.
Less mileage, it's hard to find a guy with more mileage than Saku.
Yeah, I don't... Dan Severn, maybe? That dude's got hundreds of fights and lots of grappling matches. And he's
Iron
like
Man.
almost
Who's the
60.
Iron Man?
Travis Fulton?
Fulton, yes.
He's got like over 200 MMA fights?
Over 350. Last time I checked, he was
Really?
335. Last time I checked.
That's not over 350
With
then. That's
52
less than 350.
Last time I checked, and I assume because he's fighting every third week that he's got a few more fights now. Josh. He had 52 losses last time I checked and 250 wins.
We'll check on that later and inform you of that stat. But it's going to be awesome. I'm definitely going to watch it now. Like, I was going to have to use a VPN to get on Abima and watch it, but now I don't have to. Yay. So this is one that you can definitely watch. I guarantee somebody's
And it's Wednesday.
Somebody's gonna rip it off of Fight Pass, and it's gonna be on the internet pretty quickly. It's gonna be all over YouTube.
We do not advocate for piracy on this show.
Shit's gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't advocate for piracy because, I mean, for a good majority of my teenage years, that's what I did.
Yeah, you
was
had
just
LimeWire.
pirate everything.
When it was legal back then.
Yo, I was
KASAI.
You mean Kazaa?
Frostwire.
You said KASAI. No, not the
I
grappling.
got KASAI on the brain, Josh.
Kazaa. Bro, I was around when Napster was like...
Napster, that was the one. Napster.
Napster. Before
OG.
Metallica. You know, I used that shit. I was still
OG.
a teenager when that was happening.
So that is this event. Moving on to KASAI Pro 2 in New York. Headlined by some awesome matches that I'm super hype about. KASAI Pro 2 in Brooklyn, New York on April 14th. There are 3 super fights on this card, and there's an 8-man, 185-pound middleweight tournament with a legit dark horse entry in Mike Calviness. He's there.
Nick Calvinese.
Yeah, I missed the names. There's a
Mike Perez
is below him on the list. So I jumbled those two names together. He is their tournament winner that we've talked about like a month ago or two.
Yeah.
We talked about if you wanted to enter the tournament, enter it. He's the gentleman that won that. So in that 185-pound middleweight tournament, we have Mateus Diniz. We have Craig Jones, DJ Jackson, Richie Martinez, Dante Leone, Nick Calviness, Mike Perez, and Felipe Mota.
Do you want to speculate?
I kind of do a little bit, honestly.
Okay, so we know they're going to be in 2 separate, like, A bracket and B bracket, just like last time.
Yep.
Everybody's going to go against everybody else. People with the most wins go against the next people.
Yep.
And then you have the finals.
Correct. So basically, it's a point system. So it's a round robin on each side of the bracket, and then it's by points who has the most. A win by sub is 2, a draw is 1. We got confused about this last time, too.
A sub is
3?
No, a sub is 2. A points win is 1.
That's what they have points to, don't they? Yeah. And then a draw is 0 points.
Yes.
That's what it is. So who do you think will be in block A? Who do you think will be in block B?
I'm not guessing blocks. I don't really give a shit. This is what's going to happen. Craig Jones is going to be in the finals.
I can see that with his heel hook game.
Unless he's in the same block with DJ Jackson.
I could see that too.
Because DJ might stifle his game completely. Because he's just a tiny little refrigerator of a human being.
That is one way to put it, Josh. And this is 185, so DJ's not cutting any weight.
None.
And getting down. So he's walking around at 185. He cuts to 170, pretty frequently. So, but he's what, 5? How big is DJ?
5'6" maybe. He's not a very tall person.
I think he's shorter than I am.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm a short dude.
I'm 5'8", and I felt like I was a giant next to him. Like, only when he...
So do you think they'll put... Sorry, I'm going to cut you off there.
Only when he wears, like, boots. Well, I've seen him in, like, Timberlands or whatever boots he was wearing. I don't think he would wear... what were those?
Did you say Uggs?
I was about to say Uggs, but what were those other boots that were kind of popular?
Josh, I'm not a sneakerhead at all.
I can't remember, but they had, like, tons of doofy commercials in the early 2000s about them. It'll pop up eventually, and I'll text you and be like these, and you'll go, oh, still don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, probably that exact thing. So I think they'll put DJ and Craig on opposite sides. You think they'll put Richie and DJ on the same side or opposite sides? Because they announced them at the same day. I don't know if that poses any relevance to how they set up the matches.
Know.
Or is it a random draw?
It might be a random draw. These are a lot of good guys that could shut each other's games down or just blow somebody out of the water. The only person...
KASAI does that, dude. They put it... Because they get really good guys.
Even the draws were exciting.
Yeah.
Well, mostly. The only person that I see can... I mean, Richie Martinez is going to get shut down by DJ. He's just going to stay really low. Dante Leone, I think, would shut him down as well. And Mateus Diniz would. Like, I don't know what... Richie plays a lot from guard.
He plays rubber guard. He's a rubber guard player.
I don't think that's going to work that much.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work on high level guys. Like, who else do you see play? Like, him and his brother are like the only guys, and even his brother doesn't play a ton of rubber guard anymore.
I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I sort of don't want to speculate on it. I'm excited to see them. I think the only thing I'm going to speculate on is Craig Jones winning. I think he's going to win.
I think it's him. It's Jackson. Man, yeah, no, actually,
Cabanese is a great competitor too. Like, that's the thing. Just because a lot of these guys are either from this area or close enough to this area that we've seen them compete before, where this one is a really good 8-man card where it could be anyone's
regardless
division.
of who wins it, I'm excited we're going to see most of these guys against each other. Like, we get to see at least, I think each guy's going to have at least 3 different matches.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Like, we see a bunch of these matchups, and so we don't have to speculate on, how would he do against this guy? We haven't seen him against him in a while. Yeah, it'll be fun. May put something out later in the week going, hey, the brackets are up. Here's how we think it'll come out. Given how crazy this week is, I could see us doing that. I could see us not doing that.
Possibly.
So
there's also 3 super fights. One of them I'm not even 100% sure is going to happen. Do you think Eddie Cummings gets injured again? Or gets sick?
I think he'll show up.
All right.
I listened to a podcast with John Calistine. Not John.
Calistine?
Yeah, Calistine. And he was talking about, Eddie was like legit sick, and he was like going to go, and that's why Calistine was out there as a training partner, because the flight was cheaper to go out earlier, and then Eddie got super sick with the flu and couldn't go out. So I think Eddie's back.
He just has such a terrible streak with luck.
He's just so injured all the time. He's one of those tall, lanky guys that doesn't have a ton of muscle. They just are a little injury prone.
He looks a little bit more muscle.
He looks more muscular now.
He also kind of looks homeless.
Dude, that beard is not great. Him and Gio both, pound for pound, worst fucking beards in the sport. Dude, him and Richie and his brother too. Like, all those beards are those gangly.
Richie, his is like a big old scary beard.
Wizard beard.
He's definitely hiding stuff in there, mostly weed, but
probably
still.
God, beard smells terrible.
Eddie Cummings versus Renato Canuto. Cummings leg lock game versus Canuto in general. This is for the lightweight title, mind you, because Canuto won it the last one.
In the bracket. He won it in their 8-man.
He's got a very interesting game. This is going to be a very interesting match. I'm not going to call who wins it. I'm going to say Canuto stays away from...
It all depends on how Eddie looks, because we haven't seen Eddie in a bit.
True.
So if Eddie is on, it's the Eddie of old, the dude that was showing up and beating everyone. He takes it, but Canuto's looked really good, and he won that 8-man, and he looked good in the 8-man, and he's looked good since.
Last time we saw Cummings was the Muscle Farm fight to win, wasn't it? Where he did that transition from butterfly to...
Yeah, you're right. Yep, we did see him there.
To the back.
And he looked good.
He looked really good, but he's been injured.
And he's been sick.
Yeah, so another super fight, AJ Agazarm versus Marcus Galvao. And I'm thinking this is the former Bellator champion, Marcus Galvao, who is tiny in comparison. So I wonder if AJ's going down or if they're both okay with the same weight. AJ is relentless. We know this. We all know that I hate him, but he is relentless. I don't know if Galvao's going to be able to keep up that pace.
Also, whenever you put a MMA fighter...
Galvao is a jiu-jitsu guy first and foremost before he's an MMA fighter.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, he's a legit Novo União black belt who's been around for fucking ever. He frequently... I think he trains with Vitor Shaolin in New York all the time.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like he doesn't train. I'll be interested. I think
in my eyes. So here's why. Let me cut you off here. In my eyes, and usually what I find to be true is whenever you put a guy that's splitting his time between the sport jiu-jitsu world and the MMA world, the guys that are solely focused on sport jiu-jitsu usually will take those matches. You know, I mean, Benson Henderson beat AJ in that decision, so it does happen, but Benson's also much bigger. And just historically, whenever we see MMA guys that are doing MMA and jiu-jitsu go against a dude that's just doing jiu-jitsu, the jiu-jitsu guy just has that edge.
I won't be surprised if AJ wins, but I won't be surprised if he loses either.
Well, that's AJ though. He's super hit or miss. Like, I think the KASAI rule set is really good for AJ because that dude can get 2 points and stay up.
I think they'll call him for it though. Like, he's gonna have to do something.
But he can stay active enough.
I'm gonna interrupt it right there, and I don't care because this other than the tournament, this match is what really fucking matters.
Oh, the match we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, Gio Martinez versus Nicky Ryan.
It's finally happening. Insert the GIF.
All of the noise and stuff like that. Like, everybody's excited about this, and if you're not, you're fucking lying.
Man, there's a cool interview that Donaher did. It's on the Flow Grappling page, talking about he's been not sandbagging Nicky as well, but like
just holding him back from these bigger matches.
And he's like, he's shown up and he's performed every time when he didn't think he could, and he's proved Donaher wrong so many times, which is what you say if you're going to hype a prospect. But look at who Nicky's been against. I don't think that's honestly unreasonable. This will be, aside from ADCC, when he had to fight AJ, this will be the first time we've seen Nicky go against guys at the elite level. Like, he's beaten good black belts. Like, he's beaten Lule. He's beaten Castell. Like, he's beaten good black belts. Gio is the best dude in the 10th planet system as a competitor right now.
He's the highest level competitor that he's gone up against.
Yeah, I think hands down.
Like, along with AJ. Like,
him and AJ.
This is the highest level guy he's ever faced. But you're also training with Gary Tonin and your brother Gordon Ryan
and everyone else on the death squad.
Nick Calistine and you know, anyone else.
John Calistine or Nick Calistine?
Did I say Nick Calistine?
You said Nick Calvinist is the guy on this event. John Calistine.
Right. And all those other dudes in that Henzo system. And there's a myriad of them.
And there's dudes we don't even know. And Calistine, he was on Grapplers Union podcast talking to them. They're a podcast out of Chicago. And he was talking to them. It was a really interesting interview. He just kind of shot the shit with them for about an hour and talked about Eddie being sick. Gio being sick before EBI and like how his training camp went to prepare Eddie for that, and what the room looks like at Henzo's and the different Henzo gyms around and where he was training, and basically what that environment is like at the main school. And he goes, there are dudes that mark him. So he's in that.
You have dudes that don't even compete that are just monsters in there. And guess who's affiliated with that system and will come in and train with them all the time?
GSP.
Other than that, Travis Stevens,
judo silver medalist.
Yeah, there's so many. You go out to, technically it's like Henzo Gracie, L.A. What's his name? I just had his name and I blanked out. Sean Williams.
Yep.
Sean Williams. So,
which has a very similar guard to the rubber guard system.
Yeah,
it's like a meat hook grip is what they call it, I think, in the rubber guard system.
So,
Sean Williams guard. This
is the one that people are hype about seeing. They're hype about the tournament. They're hype about the entire card. But this right here is that big thing. And I don't know.
How do you think? Yeah. So how do you think it goes?
Gio's going to be very wary of leg locks. But I think because of that, he's going to lapse in his defense elsewhere. And Nicky is going to take advantage of it.
So
if he's going to finish it, I don't know. But I think Nicky takes advantages of Gio being wary of his leg lock game.
Because you don't want to get subbed by Nicky, really. It's like, I think it becomes a points game. Both guys are going to be super defensive.
We talked about it when it was, in talks months and months and months ago. It's lose-lose for Gio.
Oh, yeah.
If you think about it. If he wins, it's like
you beat a 16-year-old
16-year-old
purple belt.
Ooh. Like, that's like beating Grace Gundrum as a brown belt. Like, oh, she's beating all these girls, these higher level girls. But if you beat her, then what? It's like, okay, you beat a 15-year-old blue belt.
Right. So, yeah, I would agree that Gio's going to play it. I think he's going to play it real safe for that.
I don't think he's going to play it safe, but I think he's going to be very cautious.
That's a better way to put that, yeah.
So, KASAI, that's the 14th. That's just one of the many things that's happening.
So other things that are happening after KASAI,
ACBJJ.
And we're going to talk about that right now. So ACBJJ 12 in
Almaty, Kazakhstan.
What an odd place to have a grappling event.
Dude, it's got connections to the Russian roots, you know?
I mean, that's one way to put that, Josh. So ACBJJ, there are 3 titles on this card, Josh. We have Adam Wardzinski versus Felipe Pena at the 95 kilogram title. We have Osvaldo
Moizinho Caixinho versus Paulo Miao, which I believe is the 66 kilo title.
Yeah, on the website it's not listed, but it's a
title.
It's a title match.
And then
Samir Chantre versus other Miao,
Joao Miao,
at the 60 kilogram title. Then we get into like the rest of the card, which again is crazy.
Match that we saw just a couple of weeks ago, Muhammad Ali versus Keenan Cornelius, 95 kilos, which could also set up the potential winner could go for the winner of the Wardzinski-Pena match.
Right. We have Luan
Carvalho
versus Edwin Najmi, 75 kilograms. Didn't Najmi just win the title?
He lost.
Oh, he lost it. Yeah, he had the title, and he lost the title.
It.
Yep. My bad. We have Lucas Barbosa versus Jackson Souza at 95 kilograms. We have Patrick Gaudio versus Thiago Sa at 85 kilograms. Josh Hinger versus Arnaldo Maidana. Yep, 85 kilograms. It'll be interesting to see if Hinger is on commentary again. I enjoyed him immensely on commentary last time.
I'm wondering if, you know what, he might not jump in because Braulio isn't jumping off.
Yeah, so there's not going to be a gap for him.
Right. So, I mean, I hope they bring him on because he added quite a bit to the commentary.
The speed was different, too. It was nice to get it was a refresher between Braulio and Drysdale.
Indeed. So before that, you have Hudson Mateus, who, again, has been a breakout star in ACBJJ, versus Ayub Makomedov at 85 kilos.
Another guy I'm not too familiar with. You have Moku Kawai versus Herbert Santos at plus 95 kilograms.
We going to see Herbert again?
Dude, I honestly hope not.
He technically took double gold this past weekend.
At
South American Open or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a boring open match. I watched part of that, and then I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'll figure out who won.
But he got subbed 2 weeks ago at San Francisco Open by some guy. I hope Herbert comes back because dude is a world beater when he's on. I don't know what's going on now. I hope.
My fingers are crossed for Herbert. I just love it.
Just so we can say it. Then we have Azaki Behance versus Claudio Calazans.
At 85 kilos. Whew. That's going to be a good one.
That's going to be a good one, too. Kim Terra, Caio Terra's brother, versus Nicholas Welker at 65 kilograms. Kim is way lower now, isn't he?
He's been that. Again, we've talked about it before where he was much bigger, and now he's at a weight that he's been competing at and he's looked good at. So you have Rodrigo Corporal versus Daoud Adaev.
The dude we saw last time.
Yeah, he got beat up last time, though.
Yeah, footlocked at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's at 75 kilos. Mohamed Karamov versus Vitor Honorio, who was part of the snoozer with Herbert Santos, the previous card.
Yep, and that's again at plus 95 kilograms.
Let's see. Hadni Barbosa versus Rafael Freitas at 60 kilos. And Vidi Magalash. They had a whole thing about saying his last name.
Dude,
when he was on.
He says it differently. In multiple interviews, depending on who he's talking to, he will say his last name differently. It's not us.
Okay.
Vidi Magalhaes.
Versus Gabriel Lucas at 95 kilos.
Plus 95 kilos. Above 95. This is setting up the one for Gordon.
Yes. But again, this is one of those cards that could be like ACBJJ 10.
Amazing.
There's potential for awesomeness that's going to happen.
It
could be boring
really
too.
Matches. It could be boring.
It could be boring, but guess what? It's going to be interesting. We get to see a lot of awesome competitors go. We have 3 title fights. They've been posting a lot on their Instagram, or on their stories, where it's like, who do you think's going to win, this person or this one? And then you pick them, and it shows you the percentages.
That's a poll, Josh.
Yeah, I know.
Josh just rolled his eyes harder than I may have ever seen him roll them on the podcast at me.
They put it up for Wardzinski versus Pena, and I clicked on Pena because I'm pretty sure he's going to win.
I think
they've had good matches, but I think Pena takes it. There was like 20% of people that voted for Wardzinski at that point when I clicked on it.
You think it's high?
Yes.
Wardzinski has that BJJ Scout video out about him, man. He's got the hype.
I don't think that has anything to do with it. Pena's beaten him before. He's had a little trouble with his game.
A bunch of guys have beaten Wardzinski. Like Keenan's beaten him soundly, like numerous occasions. Oh, sorry, just the once.
Just the once.
But it was like 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
It's like 3.5, 4 minutes.
It was fast, and we've seen Wardzinski look really, really good against non-elite black belts.
He was the one that exposed Herbert.
Nuh-uh.
Well, the week previous, yes, but this was another one where you were like...
This was the birth of Herbert Santos. Thank you, Drysdale.
By the way, here's hoping that Drysdale calls him Herbert again.
Yeah, Drysdale's 2 for 2 events right now calling him Herbert Santos.
He fixed it last time, but I'm hoping
he still did it once. He still called him Herbert once.
I'm hoping for another Herbert.
So I think Pena takes this one.
Both Meows are going to win.
I agree.
I don't think Chantre or Moisinho...
I think Giroux beat Chantre before.
Both of them have beat both of them.
Right. Okay. That was my thought. Like both of them have. We've seen these matches before, and we've seen both
Meows are
win.
taking this.
So
the thing is, I just want to see Meow passing. I want to see some Meow passing.
Yeah.
And I want to see some Meow submissions. I love when those guys get on the back and choke people. So
I think also Keenan.
We get to see that match again, and it's split up differently now.
Ooh, it is, isn't it?
The thing is, Keenan can't immediately pull guard unless he wants to lose points. And if he loses points and doesn't do anything off of it, he loses the round.
So you got to stand with Ali, which is a little bit...
For a minute at least.
And Ali's got some slick judo. And
yes.
He's I think he's more of an athlete than Keenan is.
Yes.
Like he just as raw explosiveness in his ability to throw like the Harigoshi and the... Usually his big throw is the Uchi and the Harigoshi. Those are his 2 big throws. He kind of throws a Harai.
Seo? That drop Seo outside.
Oh, he does throw a drop Seo, doesn't he? Yep, he throws a drop Seo. There's another throw I'm thinking about.
Thanks, Joe Rogan, for calling him explosive.
He is, though. No, he is. He is actually explosive. Look at him throw Cyborg at the 2017 Worlds. Mm-hmm. Look at the Cyborg's a big-ass dude. And see, he threw him.
Threw
him, Josh.
Oh, snap.
Few dudes can Harigoshi Cyborg like that. Just one leg and just rotate over. I don't know why you're laughing at me, Josh. He's super explosive for a big dude like that.
I'm just... multiple things are going through my head at once. And when you were like, he threw him, I was just remembering watching Game Over Man from the guys that do Workaholics.
I haven't seen that yet. Was it good?
Oh, God. When the one guy goes... You need to apologize. And I was like, oh my God, and the way you were like, he threw him just made me think of that, and it made me laugh. So
you're welcome, Josh. I got your back.
Yeah.
Cool whip.
Yeah. Cool whip. So that's ACBJJ, potential to be awesome.
Any of these other matches you want to talk about? I mean, we could go on and on. I'm happy
we could go on. The Lucas Barbosa versus Jackson Souza match has potential to burn the building that they're in down. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my God. Like, that's going to be awesome. Looking forward to Hudson Mateus competing again. I'm afraid to watch a Vinny Magalhaes match. I don't know if it's going to be...
His last match was not.
Moku had a hand in that as well.
He did. They both did.
That shit was boring.
It was a little...
Not a little. Don't lie. That shit was boring as fuck.
It was a little boring. Yeah, Josh.
And what's funny is Moku wasn't in that match. Moku won against somebody else. Or no. See, I'm mixing up the Victor Honorio match with Victor Honorio and Herber Santos, which was another boring match.
Yes, that was the.
So I'm mix matching two boring matches
because ACBJJ went from having 2 events a year, 3 events a year to one every other month.
Stokered.
I'm stoked for it too. But they're going together in my head, and I'm getting confused about which card was which and who went against who.
You just gotta go back.
Was that this card? Yeah, Josh, we don't have that technology yet. I haven't built a database.
You just go back to
Josh,
the side.
I don't
right
have the technology.
You can't move your mouse over to the
Josh.
right side of the screen and click on one of the cards.
I cannot do that, Josh. It's impossible.
Okay.
So that will do it for ACBJJ 12. I'm not going to do it.
Okay. So, SUG. How about that?
Submission Underground 7, which is Chael Sonnen's organization out of Portland, Oregon.
We're going to talk about it a little bit, but we might have to do more talking about it on the following show because it happens on Sunday. So it might be happening while we're recording.
Which last time tends to run a little late.
It's because it's West Coast time.
Right.
So last time this happened, we had to stop recording multiple times.
We tried to record it live and do our reactions and talk about the matches.
We just said "oh shit" a lot, and I say it all the time. We have like all these reels of us saying weird shit or anything like that, and it's on there of me like yelling and saying that I pissed myself a little bit when AJ lost to Nathan Orchard. So.
But it's all unusable from a podcast perspective, so we may have to watch this event and then cover it the following week. But we'll preview it this week because it is going to happen Sunday, which is when we record the following week. So this one's a fun event because they're having a brown belt tournament.
So this is how the card is laid out. You have 8 guys. You have the first 4 matches for this tournament to crown like their
semifinalist from each side of the bracket.
Right. To crown your big tournament winner. There are tag team matches. We're going full on pro wrestling.
He's doing it, man.
Sort of. I don't know how 100% it's going to work out. There's tagging involved. I hope there's like rope breaks. I hope somebody's going to poke somebody else in the eyes.
You can do it like pancrase, kind of.
I don't know.
Where you get 3 and you get point losses every time you do it, like old school pancrase.
Well, they still did it. They did it in like Deep and stuff like that too.
Did they do it in Deep? I thought Deep didn't have it. Deep initially
They definitely have.
Deep doesn't have it now.
It's one of the Japanese promotions that also has like just fighting, but it's also got grappling in it. Anyway, there's tag team matches. There's multiple tag team matches
from multiple gyms.
So it's like, okay, so here's Team Brooks versus Team Courier, which it says TT next to it, tag team. And then that is broken up by 2 more matches where you have Liam Furry versus Cash Burgess and Kevin Hughes versus Alex Lee.
Those are independent matches. They're not tag team matches.
Right. And then you have Mata Leao versus Pit Grit. That's a tag team match. Followed by Ella Provost versus Haley Van and Abdullah Salim and Shandar Pass. Oh, apparently that's a gi match. It specifically says that. Then you have the Desert Dogs versus 503 WCA. So these are all tag team matches. Oh, these guys need, even if it's their gym, I would say something where we'd have a cooler tag team name than just like Team Balance tag team.
Baltimore BJJ tag team, Josh.
No, it'd be like Thunder from Down Under, or
Would you be Australian?
So what?
You know, Thunder is a team in Australia, right?
It doesn't matter. Like, I'm just coming up with names.
You're not doing a good job.
The Ball Fondlers, like,
dude.
That'd be an awesome name.
A great name.
You know,
I don't think they'd print that on their promotional material though.
Chael Sonnen would fucking love it and be like, "Yes, the Ball Fondlers."
Yeah. Then
again,
we have
another tag team match: Straight Blast Jim versus Gracie Baja Portland.
Matthew Cox.
Matthew Cox versus Bryson French, which is another gi match. So then you have Straight Blast versus Gracie Baja tag team match. You have the Brown Belt Tournament semifinal 1 and 2. Then you have Sue-Ann Reyes versus Anna Dempster. You have Impact Jiu-Jitsu versus 10th Planet Portland tag team match. Micah Breakerfield versus Nick Maximov. The tournament finale.
For the brown belt. So the brown belt tournament finale is the last event on the undercard.
This is all technically the undercard to this whole match.
Yeah, dude. SUG puts on a bunch of events.
A ton. And then the main card is Joe Buys versus Mike DeWitt. John Diggins versus Carlos Sievert. That's a gi match. UFC's Jesse Taylor versus Ben Egley. And the main event, Jeff the Snowman Monson, Jeff the Russian Monson versus Fabiano Scherner.
So it's listed as out on this thing, but
did he drop?
He dropped out. Yeah, which sucks because I haven't seen Jeff Monson in a while because he's dropped out of. The last time I saw him on a grappling card was, what was it? Metamoris, and he dropped because his mother died right before Metamoris, and that was Metamoris. That was the heavyweight Metamoris they did a while ago, and I forget. So the new main event is actually
Bruno Bastos versus Scherner. Okay, I think that's a better card, a better match.
I like seeing Jeff Monson. I think he's had some rough goes at it recently, but I love watching him compete because he's a crazy individual. He's a crazy dude. But yeah, I think from a matchup perspective, it's probably better matchup. We saw Schlemmer. I can never say his last name. Scherner, which is Chael Sonnen's grappling coach. We saw him versus Tim Sylvia. Was it last Sug? Was it Sug 6?
Yes.
And he wrist locked Sylvia.
What a joke that match was.
And it happened. So this will be, I think, a little more back and forth. We've seen Taylor a lot, I think, on it. We've seen him on twice on it. Have we seen him on Fight to Win?
He wasn't on it. We saw him on SUG.
Oh, it was SUG. Who was on it that I forgot? They had a bunch of MMA fighters on.
Tons of dudes.
Oh.
Kyle Kingsbury.
That's who it was.
Who works for On It.
Yep. So
that's that card. We may or may not talk about it depending on when it's going on.
The list of the brown belt competitors is out as well. We have Eddie Ziegler. We have Howie Mole. Is it Mole or Mole?
I'm gonna go with Mole.
We have Alex Lamprey.
Larmy. You really need glasses. Larmy.
Yeah, there's no P in there, is there?
Journey Newson, Sean Weisenberg, Matt Kwan, Brian Brown, and Chase Davis. Those are the tournament competitors.
I'm not hugely familiar with any of these guys. These are probably West Coast guys, Portland area guys. Chael usually does a good job from bringing local talent onto his cards, especially in the undercards. The brown belt tournament is an undercard thing, so I would assume it's mostly Portland guys.
Still very interesting. So they also have their tag team competitors. Impact Jiu-Jitsu is comprised of Lee Flores. Comprised. Excuse me. Sorry. I can say words wrong. Sorry. Jumping on me. You can't even fucking read.
Josh, I know we good.
Alex Lamprey. There's no P. There's an M in there. Anyway, Impact Jiu-Jitsu is comprised of Lee Flores and Brian Neuro. 10th Planet Portland is Sam Hardy and Phil Schwartz. Straight Blast Gym is to be announced. Dangerous competitors to be announced.
Yeah, this is from the April 1st announcement on SUG's page. That I'm not sure if there's an updated version. If someone does have an updated item for SBG, let me know. I can't find one.
Gracie Baja Portland is Thomas Patrick and Chris Williams. 503 West Coast Academy is Chad McKinney and Gus Bessa. Desert Dogs is Juan Bernardo and Lingo Diaz. Mataleao is Eddie Flowers and Jacob Cooper. Pit Grit is Sage Brown, and that person's name is
Tyree.
Okay.
Tyree Fortune.
I was like, is that... You know what that is?
What's that?
That's a mixed tag match.
Is it?
No, the next team, Team Courier, Hillary Van Ornum, and Mike Courier.
Interesting.
That is a mixed tag team.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Unless Hillary is a man's name.
Hillary is not a guy's name.
I'm just saying, unless I doubt Mike is a man's name, but it could be.
You doubt Mike is a man's name? You mean female name?
Female name, man. And then we have.
See, fuck you.
We have Team Brooks, which is a TBD.
To be announced. And Warren Brooks. Yeah. Who's talking shit now, motherfucker?
Me still, Josh. I don't have to back it up. That's not how this relationship works.
I don't know how this relationship works.
You beat the shit out of me in the gym. I beat the shit out of you on the mic. This is how this works.
You don't even beat the shit out of me on the mic. How dare you?
Josh, this is how this works.
Also, it was pointed out by Maine's girlfriend that frequently when we take pictures, we look like a couple. This made Maine very uncomfortable. So if any of you saw the Instagram post from DC Open and you see how far away Maine is standing from me, it's fucking amusing.
I wanted people to see the banner between us, Josh.
You're a goddamn liar. You didn't want to be seen as a couple. That makes you feel uncomfortable.
Josh makes me a little weird inside, not gonna lie.
I'm gonna hold your hand more frequently.
Yeah, we got some promotional photos coming out soon that made me uncomfortable to take. So look out for those on social media. Again, you can always follow us. We're not done with the show yet, but I'm going to do a little tag in the middle here. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, everywhere. Reach out to us on Reddit. We are Grappling Rewind. I post there pretty frequently and comment on stuff that I think that we're going to cover on the show or we find interesting on the show.
It's how we got press coverage for Fight to Win,
yeah.
which we're going to be talking about next.
Yeah, so that'll do it for SUG, Submission Underground 7. I'm amped for this event. This is going to be great. Josh and I are probably going to have to pause our recording of next week's show, not infrequently, as Josh yells into the mic, and I'm refusing to cut it or refusing to edit it out. We're just going to cut the segment and re-record. So on to Fight to Win Pro 70 in Maryland at UMBC's new event center that I inspected frequently as the state inspector.
I'm not going to talk about me being the state inspector. Nobody gives a fuck, you fucking sewer-dwelling rat piece of shit.
God damn, Josh. You're not wrong, but damn.
Fight to Win Pro 70, Maryland, UMBC.
The last one was great. This one I hope will be the same. That's been had a huge
100% submission rate.
I can see it, Josh. I can see it. Last one paid out like $36,000. Was a good
33.
card. Was it 33?
I think it was 33.
It was a good payout. It was a sold out event. This one, UMBC Arena is pretty large.
I don't think they're going to sell that one out.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll get those leakovers from that Retriever Sweet 16 or March Madness win.
Maybe.
They'll be like, "Oh, we're just going to shit and supporting it." Oof. I'm gonna try to get UMBC stuff and just like I'm gonna openly admit I'm gonna try to take shit.
Jesus, Josh, you can't
like a sweater. I'm gonna find a sweater in the locker room and take it.
Jesus. Main evented by Tim Spriggs, Team Lloyd Irvin versus
Gutenberg Pereira, who is a monster. Who really had a nice showing at Pans. It'll be really interesting. This match is gonna be an explosive match.
It's a heavyweight title belt. I assume it's Gi.
Yes, because he is the heavyweight title holder. Tim Spriggs is.
We saw him win that versus
yes.
What's his name?
From Alliance.
Yep. Big dude.
Christ.
Nogueira?
Yes. Yes. No? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Leo Nogueira.
Yes. Leo.
Boom.
God, it was a teamwork, Josh.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
This is co-main evented by Shane Jamil Hale Taylor, again, Team Lord Irvin, versus Bruno Cesar.
From GF Team. So, I mean, there is a GF Team gym here in Maryland, so it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, they have a bunch of guys in the card. One of the guys that's on the purple belt card was actually in our gym today.
Yeah, they come in all the time for open mats. All those guys come in and, get some good training in. So that is followed up by a super heavyweight black belt gi match, Ottavio Nalati versus Rafael Maya. Nalati, one half of the most boring jiu-jitsu match in the world.
Oh, it's him, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a big dude.
Large gentleman, Josh.
Very big dude.
He's also one of the few straight up Portuguese guys that Lord Irving has still.
Brazilian guys?
Yeah.
I think he's got actually a lot more than you think. I've looked through some of the brackets or some of the listings for the DC Open. He had a lot of Brazilian names in there that were just registered underneath of him. So,
but he's one of the guys we see all over the place.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if he's out of Silver Spring or if he's out of someplace else, but he's coming back.
He represents him, I think, when he's in America.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen him at other events internationally with the patches on,
but not representing it.
Okay, yeah, I knew it's
So another super heavyweight black belt gi match.
He's versus Rafael.
I already said that.
Oh, did you?
I did.
My bad, Josh. It's late tonight.
Yeah. Jeff Manilanson versus Lamonte Tyler from Hoist Gracie. I competed against Jeff my first brown belt match when I was also a super heavyweight.
He was on Fight to Win last time, too.
Yes, he was. Oh, excuse me. That'll be interesting. Hoping for some super heavyweight movement. I don't want a whole lot of boring stuff. I'd appreciate movement. That's all. 240-pound black belt gi match. Wilfredo Marino Jr. versus Ricardo Ribeiro from Alliance/Team Lloyd Irvin. And Alliance San Diego, not Alliance like out of Atlanta Alliance.
Right.
I competed against Wilfredo before. He is a big guy.
It's kind of funny you've competed against so many of these guys because you've had a huge swing in weight classes.
Well, it's not even that. Like the absolute alone has let me compete against everybody all throughout all of these things.
I don't do absolute, Josh. I
compete at you're a baby.
I compete at 145 or 135. I'm not gonna be. I've thrown 155 a couple times, but
okay.
Like child size weights, Josh. I don't want to be against a 240 pound dude that outweighs him by 100 pounds and knows how to fight.
Okay. 225 black belt gi match. Kim Sturdivant versus Kenneth Brown. Competed against Kenneth and trained with Kim. Kim has come to our gym before.
Yep.
Solid competitor, as well as Ken Brown, known for his deep half stuff. Big dude. Looks like he does not give a fuck. Just in life in general. If you see him, he just looks like he's just aloof.
Kim's always smiling and walking around. We see him at
very
local
friendly.
events.
I always talk to him when I see him.
We see him at local events all the time. Saw him at Grappling Industries a couple weeks ago. Saw him yesterday, I think. He was walking.
I didn't see him, but I left a little early.
I saw him walking around maybe, but I definitely saw him at Grappling Industries a couple weeks ago.
Then you have a 210-pound no-gi match. Charles Gamble from GF Team versus Rogue. Ooh.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Rogelio Soto from Ground Control, which is, it could be one of the multiple ground controls, but they're local to us. They're about 5 minutes away from our gym, like right around the corner.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we cross-train there. Guys cross-train. Again, our gym is really open. It's super nice to be from our gym because guys pop into us. We can pop into pretty much wherever around the area, and everyone's pretty friendly to us. Mm-hmm. So it's nice.
Next, we have a 185-pound black belt gi match. Ty Murphy from Team Lloyd Irvin versus Colin Stewart from Team Hobson Mora, who also Colin trains with us all the time. He was on the last Baltimore card and the Philly card before that.
Yep, he's out of Philly.
Great.
He was on our gym today, actually.
Yeah, he's
rolling.
He lives like literally one street away from mine. He's right around the corner from me.
Super nice guy. Super good competitor too.
Super great pressure. He cooked the last guy that he was in and submitted him in
7 minutes and 35 seconds, and then submitted him with 9 seconds left in the match.
Yeah.
From a north-south armbar.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Crazy.
That's going to be an awesome match. 175-pound black belt gi match. I'm gonna beat his name up, and Junior from GF Team is gonna yell at me for saying it wrong.
He'll do that anyway.
Probably. Let's see. ATAIDE. What are you gonna say?
I'm not gonna say anything, Josh.
Atide
Rafael
from GF Team. Ed Sheridan from Hobson Mora. The dude from GF Team is a monster. He just goes crazy. He just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's great watching him compete. A 165-pound black belt no-gi match. Julian Gabbert from Evolve versus Kai Bosk from BJJ Conquest. I've trained with Kai numerous times. He's a great competitor. He's sort of been out of it for a little while. It's kind of funny that he's at 165 pounds when the last big tournament I remember him at, he was in the finals versus Bruno Malfacine. Yeah, exactly. But Bruno he wasn't at Rooster. He was at Light Feather. So that was cool to see him in that match.
Which is a lower weight, so he's going to be bigger for this event.
155-pound black belt gi match. Matt Schellenschlager from BJJ Conquest versus Joseph Overstreet. Trained with Matt, competed against Joseph. It'll be an awesome match. They're going to go back and forth. 145-pound black belt gi match. Vicente Jr.
Former Masters World Champion.
Yes, and technically BJJ Conquest is under him, but he's listed as that just to have it there.
Yeah, so that gym is Vicente Jr., whatever his gym name is, and then / BJJ Conquest.
Yeah, so
everyone calls the gym Conquest.
Yeah. versus Josh Aguero from Pedro Sauer, Amar Barbosa. Vicente is a great competitor.
Oh, yeah. World champion. Like, he's a Masters world champion.
Masters world champion.
Like, when I moved from where I was to Baltimore, my instructor knows Vicente because my instructor was also Brazilian. He's like, go to Vicente. He's in Maryland, too. And I trained with them for a little bit, but the distance just wasn't where I was living. So I ended up finding, a different gym. But I trained with him before. Great competitor.
140-pound black belt gi match. Brian Klauser, BJJ Conquest, versus Aaron Morris from Hobson Mora. Conquest is repping hard on this card.
And Lloyd Irving.
Yes.
Both of those.
137-pound no-gi match.
Again with odd weights.
Chris Tran versus Daniel Keene. Chris Tran is a brown belt. And
he's won. He's won.
But he's been on multiple cards.
Yes.
Competing against black belts just because it's how small he is. And they're like, here's all of these competitors. So I talked to him briefly at the D.C. Open, and that's what it was. Dan Keene trains with us. He's out of Alliance, but he comes and trains with us all the time. So that'll be an interesting match to watch as well. We're going to jump into the brown belts a little bit just because of who's on it. Bones, Devontae Johnson from Unity versus David Adams, ground control. That's very interesting. David Adams is not 220 pounds.
No. He's a bigger dude.
He's like 180 some odd pounds.
No, he's 200.
No, I don't think so.
I saw him. I've trained with him.
I don't think he is. But that's a big bite to take.
Oh, yeah. Tough matchup.
That'll be very interesting.
But why wouldn't you take the matchup?
Why
honestly,
not?
Like, you think you can get it done? That's why I love jiu-jitsu, because guys are like, oh, the super tough guy, gimme. That's why you wanted your brackets.
I would have taken it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. 190-pound brown belt gi match. John Del Brudge versus Chad Malone from Capital MMA.
Is it 190 now?
190. Was it?
Weren't you against him at 170?
175.
Yeah, so this is up 15 pounds from when he was against you.
He cut for that too.
Absolutely, probably just not cutting.
No.
What's he fight at? What weight class does he fight at?
Medium, heavy.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. 170-pound brown belt gi match. Maggie Gamry from Lucas Lepre BJJ versus Vanessa Griffin from T. Lloyd Irvin. You have a 170-pound brown belt gi match. Angelo Claiborne from Team Lloyd Irvin versus Gary Gioni. Gary was on the last one. Great competitor. Good footlocks. It's going to be interesting.
We've seen him on other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Show the art stuff, I think.
Yes, that's where we've seen him.
160-pound brown belt gi match. Joshua Pike versus Patrick Mahoney. 140-pound brown belt gi match. Malachi Edmond versus Ellis Karadag. I think that's spelled wrong. I know
I can
Ellis.
never say Ellis's last name.
I can't either.
Ellis competes all the time. He's on super fights all the time. I train with the guy,
He's been in our gym plenty of times.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting.
He's not 140 either.
He's around that weight.
So he's not cutting.
No.
Yeah,
absolutely
he's not cutting to make that weight.
I think what we're going to do, since we have press passes, we're going to ask these people how to say their names.
I think that'd be a good order of business.
I think that'd be a great thing to do.
It'd be very assistive, Josh.
Yeah, and then we get down into like the purple belts and things like that. There is a couple of purple belt matches. There's a 155-pound purple belt gi match, actually, with somebody that trains with us. Michelle Temmel versus Alex Coleman. Alex definitely is going to cut to get to this weight class.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday at DC Open, and I didn't know if it was at 160 or 155, and I forget what weight class she was in, but I know she's cutting weight to get down there. Michelle is not cutting to make that weight.
I don't think she's like at least 10 pounds under.
About 145-ish.
Yeah.
So Michelle recently got promoted. Alex, I think, won her division yesterday at DC Open. So this will be it's going
to be interesting. Yeah.
Former training partners.
True story. Alex Karadimas from GF Team always comes in.
Saw him trying to flying triangle a dude yesterday at DC Open. I didn't see how he did at the end, but he was looking good during the matches I saw him on the mat. And he was in our gym today, actually.
Always training, getting that time in.
I think it's crazy that at DC Open yesterday, beating dudes up, then at our gym today, beating dudes up, and then in a week now you're going to Fight to Win Pro to beat dudes up. So on the grind.
Yeah, and then, Tadaya Danaforth, who, if I'm not mistaken, was the person that flying triangled the other person.
Yep, in my notes I have him that I wrote for this event. I was like, I think that's the dude that flying triangle. They had the weird hair that flying triangled the other dude at the preliminaries of Fight to Win Pro Maryland 53 last time. So it'll be fun to watch, see how he looks. He looked good last time. He's from Foundry BJJ out of D.C., so it'll be fun to see him. This whole card is full of really good matchups from the purple belts all the way up.
Yeah, we're gonna get deep coverage on this one because we're gonna be there. Again, if you're gonna be there, let us know. Come say hi. We'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're gonna be there having fun, getting information, trying to get some video. Ask some questions,
try to do
a little
really,
interview.
Really good coverage of the event because we love Fight to Win, so they're giving us press access to their event. Try to do the best job we possibly can to cover their event and showcase.
I'm gonna somehow magically sneak in and get on that commentary. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Do it, Josh.
That wraps it up. This week's gonna be brutal.
Yep, we got
lots of grappling events to cover. Lots of jiu-jitsu to ingest.
We got Quintet on Wednesday, and then Friday we have
Fight to Win 70. Then
Saturday
ACBJJ and KASAI, and Sunday we have SUG, and we have recording of this podcast.
Oh, Thursday we have weigh-ins. So we have Quintet, we have weigh-ins for Fight to Win, then we have all of that.
So Maine's probably going to be at weigh-ins, snapping some pictures, asking some questions, talking to Missy and Seth and anybody else that will talk to his weird, creepy, Laxboro-looking self.
Yeah, the hair's getting real long.
Get a fucking haircut.
It's getting real long.
Get a haircut. You don't have to be bald like me, but get a fucking haircut. Okay?
We'll talk, Josh. We'll see.
I'm going to buy you a visor. As long as you wear it upside down, then you don't have to cut your hair.
Can I carry the cross stick with me?
Sure. I was doing that earlier, but I don't look like a lacrosse bro.
All right. So that'll do it for this episode of the show. If you want to follow us on Instagram, Josh is at chops_and_.
It's chops and chokes, and you'll figure it out with all the underscores because it just sounds obnoxious when it's like chops_and_chokes.
I'm at Maine Does Jiu-Jitsu.
He occasionally does jiu-jitsu.
That's all I do, man. I do my job occasionally too. And then I go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. State of Maryland, don't listen to this podcast.
I do a good job. I work my ass off.
In the sewers.
In the sewers, Josh.
Taking poop samples.
King of the sewers.
You're like a Ninja Turtle. But
literally, I do martial arts and work in the sewers.
But you're not awesome.
I mean,
you're not named after a cool artist. You don't have a color.
State.
As always, you can email us at thegrapplingrewind@gmail.com. You can check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and pretty much anywhere you can find
Facebook
podcasts. We're on Facebook, Grappling Rewind.
Instagram,
Grappling Rewind.
Twitter,
Grappling Rewind.
Reach out to us on social media. If you got something you want us to cover, you want to clarify, we are here.
You want to tell us we're idiots. Hey, let us know.
You want us to pronounce your name correctly?
Let us know. Subscribe on the YouTube page. Leave us a review.
Helps us out a lot.
It helps us out. And, it eventually will help you out. We like to give back. We're doing this as something that isn't done. So help us help you. Again, as always, I'm Josh.
I'm Maine.
And this is the Grappling Rewind podcast.
We'll see you on the mats.